morning, everyone. Thank you to be with us today at Keiser University Days on the Capitol Hill. I'm Arthur Kaiser, Chancellor of Keiser University. It's my pleasure to welcome you all with us today. We're honored to celebrate Keiser University's almost 50 years of history in Florida and the profound impact that we have upon our wonderful state. The purpose of this press conference is to talk about our Keiser University Championship football team and talk about things that are happening at Keiser University. Let me give you a little brief history of Keiser University. We're a homegrown institution and were founded in 1977 with just one student. Today, the Keiser University community is made up of over 20,000 students, 3,800 members of our administrative staff, faculty, and nearly 100,000 alumni at the 21 campuses throughout the state of Florida. Our mission is to ensure that graduates are prepared to make an immediate impact by joining the workforce of critical and emerging industries such as nursing, healthcare, information technology, defense, homeland security, transportation, logistics, and cybersecurity and more. Through this effort, we contribute more than $3 billion annually to the Florida economy and are committed to ensuring the state has a vibrant and knowledgeable workforce in those key industries. We are proud to call Florida home and look forward to our continued partnership with the residents and communities and employers of the great state. I'd like to thank Representative Randy Fine, who has joined us here today, and continued support of Keiser University. Our first campus besides Fort Lauderdale was in your district in Melbourne.
That's how it should be.
1980. That was the year my son was born.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me this morning. I apologize, I'm going to have to leave a little bit early. We have the appropriations meeting in just a few minutes where we're going to present the budget this year. But I did want to come by and say a few words because we live at a time where higher education is in crisis in this country. The institution that I attended no longer believes that you should have to write a paper and not copy other people's work. So we've reached a point where people are questioning the very nature of is it worth having. And part of the reason for that is for so long, higher education has been focused on goofy things. You know, a degree in medieval French literature is great if you want to teach medieval French literature or work at Starbucks. But I mean, beyond that, you're going to have a hard time getting work in this world. And we've lost sight of the fact that the purpose of higher education is not to create jobs for people who can't get jobs anywhere else, but it's to make a functioning workforce that can have value in society today. And I didn't know Keiser when I got elected. No idea. I just drove past it in my district when I was home. I wasn't a politician. I'm still not, or at least I'm the worst one in town. But when I got elected, the Kaisers invited me to speak at a commencement speech, which was pretty exciting. What affected me profoundly as I was at that commencement speech is watching the people who were getting degrees and what those degrees were in. Because as Dr. Kaiser spoke about, every single one of them was graduating with something where they could go and get a job right then, right there. Not a minimum wage job, but a good job with career opportunities where they could move and they could be productive parts of our workforce. And it made a profound, no medieval French literature degrees. I'm sorry if any of you have degrees in medieval French literature, but we now face a time where we don't have enough of those workers. I'm the chairman of the Health and Human Services Committee. We're doing all of this work and all of this discussion about the fact that we don't have enough healthcare workers in this state. And it makes it even more important. Now we not only can't afford to have all these silly degrees because we're wasting the taxpayers' money on them, but now we don't have enough people to do the jobs that we actually need done. So that's why I was honored to sponsor the press conference here this morning, and I'm very glad to welcome Keiser here because they are the lifeblood of what this state needs for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and beyond. So thank you guys all for being here, and I hope you have a great day. And apologies, I have got to get okay. You guys pay me $29,000 a year, right?
Yeah, actually, that would meet the gainful employment requirements. Again, now I'd like to introduce Belinda Kaiser, who's pretty much responsible for today's event and done just such great work representing the university in the past 40 years. So please welcome with me Belinda Kaiser.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kaiser, and thank you again, everyone, for being here. Let me also say that we appreciate Chairman Fine's leadership and his sponsorship today, as well as the Senate President, Kathleen Pasadomo. So thank you, President Pasadomo. My message is simply that we live in a great state. And if you look at the history of Keiser University, we started almost 50 years ago. And today we're 20,000 students. And that is, we can attribute that to good leadership in the state of Florida, support from our communities, amazing teams at 19 of our different campuses. To my left, you will see half of our presidents, because we have 19 campuses. Unfortunately, I don't have the opportunity to introduce them. And to my right, the same, and several of our students. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what we're about. When you hear Chairman Fine talk about talent, talk about the workforce, we have more than 1,000 business advisors that tell us what is necessary in terms of the workforce, whether it's nursing, whether it's IT, whether it's cybersecurity. And long ago, we learned to listen because the community will tell you what's needed, right? So it is my honor to introduce our president of our flagship campus. I do want you to know that several years ago, when my husband turned to me and said, we're gonna have a football team, I said, that's great, yes dear. Now, we are national champs. Please welcome with me, President Gary Vaughn.
Thank you, Mrs. Kaiser. Good morning, everybody. These are exciting times at Keiser University. As the message is clear, this is about preparing people for things later in life. That's truly what our opportunity is here today, to share with you the things that have happened at Keiser University. The athletic program at the flagship campus in West Palm Beach is an extraordinary opportunity for us to change kids' lives. Half of our students on that campus are athletes. And we have, over the past 6 years, we've had 19 national championship teams in anything from lacrosse to golf to women's and men's soccer. And most recently, at the end of December, we were very, very fortunate to be successful and win the national championship in our football program. And it was an exciting moment for us. And in addition to that, the other thing we do is we focus on academics. And we have 835 of our athletes are actually All-American as well. And the real great thing about this is we get an opportunity not only to talk to them about great athletics, but talk about success after college. Because we all know that that's the opportunity that these kids truly have, is when you get out of a program like a successful lacrosse or football program, you are armed with the skills and the capabilities to do great things in your community. So many of them are in the Florida community. I mean, 90% of our kids come from the South Florida market. So they stay, they work, and they share their messages with their fellow citizens in their communities. Success in the classroom is really important to us. Our GPA for our athletes is 3.18. Pretty hard to hear that, but they actually do. We focus a lot on that. When an athlete doesn't go to class, the teacher sends a message, and the coach says you can't practice today. So guess what happens? They actually go to class because they really do want to practice. So anyway, we also won the Learfield Cup. The Learfield Cup is an annual award nationwide. I'd like to take full responsibility for that. But I won't. The Learfield Cup is a recognition of the quality of the educational the university that provides both an opportunity for athletics and an opportunity for academics. And throughout the U.S., we were recognized as the #1 school last year in the Learfield Cup. And so it's important for us to focus on both. We would love to always be the national champions, but we'd actually always love to be things like the Learfield Cup as well. So I'd like to share with you our athletic director. Chris Walker's been here since the beginning. He's been here since we went from 15 to almost 30 programs. And every step of the way, he's provided leadership on the campus, to really give our athletes an understanding of that which is important to us. So please join me in welcoming Chris Lager, our athletic director.
Thank you. It's always an honor when I get to talk about our amazing student athletes, coaches, and staff. Dr. Bonk just highlighted our past, and we're very proud of that, but I want to focus on our present and our future. Before we get to our football team and our amazing season we had, I do want to mention our football team is one of two football teams we actually have on campus. We also have a flag football team. If you're not familiar with women's flag football, it's a growing sport. It's really big in the state of Florida. The NAIA, which is the association we compete in, was the first association to recognize it as a varsity sport. About 5 years ago, they partnered with the NFL. We were one of the founding teams in the association. Since that time, fast forward to last year, it was actually added as an Olympic sport for 2028. And we are fortunate enough to have 2 members of Team USA competing for our team, one from Florida and one from Texas. So hopefully we can add some gold medals here sometime in the near future. So if you're not familiar with Keiser Athletics, you might be asking yourself, what attracts Olympic athletes, national champions, high-level athletes to West Palm Beach? Well, the first thing would be location. Obviously, we have a beautiful campus. The weather's great. It kind of sells itself when kids visit. But I think the other major thing is our focus. Our focus is on developing leaders, is helping kids to understand that winning is a byproduct of everything they do. Successful habits, what they learn in the short amount of time they have with us before they go on to their careers is very important to us. And athletics is a huge component of that. You can learn in one season a lot of things that may take you 10 to 15 years to learn. Handling adversity, teamwork, winning, losing. A lot of the things that build character, and that when they graduate, they go into the workforce and they can use as a husband, as a wife, as a father, as a business owner, as a community leader. So we take pride in that. Basically, we try to preach to them, be great at the things that require zero talent. We're going to teach them skills and opportunities and different things, but at the end of the day, it doesn't require any talent to be on time, and be respectful, and have integrity. And that's what we push, and that's what you'll see with all of our athletic teams as they compete. One of the best examples I can think of is our football team. So when I think of our 2023 championship, I can't help but think of our 2022 season, because that kind of led up to that. So I'll recap real quick. In 2022, we started the season ranked 8th in the country. We had a goal of getting better. Winning the championship was obviously one of the goals, but at the end of the day, we preach, get better every day, become a better person, become a better athlete, keep getting better. But we scheduled a tough schedule. We started 8th and fell out of the top 25. We fought our way back in, ended up being the 12th seed in the playoffs that year. Went on a historic run that if I gave the script to Hollywood, they'd probably say, "Who's going to read this?" We were the 12th seed. We went on the road for 3 straight rounds. We knocked off the 5 team, the number 5 seed on the road, the number 1 seed on the road, the number 2 seed on the road, and then ended up playing for a national championship, which no one has done that before. We lost that game, but that loss fueled our fire for the next season. So going into the 2023 season, again, we had a tough schedule. Instead of taking it easy and saying we're going to keep our ranking, we scheduled to get better, which we did. We went into the playoffs still really not favored. When you look at our team, the one thing that really stood out was our grit. That showed up in our semifinal win. We won by 7 points. We had a last-second stand at the goal line, which is one of 3 where we stopped teams inside the 5. In that game, our starting quarterback actually got hurt in the first series. People don't know, but he got hurt in the first series and toughed his way through the game. Going to the championship game, we ended up playing with a backup quarterback who had played a total of 2 quarters during his 3-year career. And again, next man up philosophy. Handle adversity, you move forward, you don't let that stop you from what you're trying to accomplish. And that team, they showed that grit. They fought, and they ended up eventually earning their first national championship. So where does Coach Myles Russ play in all this? Coach Myles Russ brings the grit to the team. Coach Myles Russ is a Palm Beach native. He played at West Boca High, was 6A Player of the Year. was overlooked by FIU, FAU, UCF, wanted to play in the state. Ended up going to Robert Morris, Division I school in Pittsburgh, became an All-American, was Player of the Year of the conference, and was elected to their Hall of Fame in 2017. He was one of the first people that we called when we were developing our staff. Loves the state of Florida, wants to build a program in the state of Florida that kids can stay home, play in front of their fans, play in front of their parents, and realize their dreams. So, when I spoke to the team the other day, there's some words that are in our locker room. Teamwork, integrity, hard work, family. All those things are characteristics that Coach Myles Russ has. But that's not the reason why he was the perfect fit. What we look for at Keiser University are leaders that can coach, not coaches that can lead. You can mess up, you can make mistakes in coaching, but you can't make mistakes in leadership. Our kids deserve that, and that's what they got with Coach Myles Russ. He's a leader of men. His goal is to develop them to be better than they were before they got here. And it's my pleasure to introduce Keiser's leader and head football coach, Coach Myles Russ.
Good morning. It's such a blessing to be here, be the next head coach at Keiser University. It's been some preparation, it's been hard work. It all started 7 years ago when Coach Sosa brought me in and brought me back home to my family. I was so excited just to be able to start something from the ground up. A lot of times, in this coaching world, we come into a team and you got to try to figure things out. But starting from the ground up, we knew that we wanted to build within our community, and the Keiser University has done that. I still remember the first day. We were in the financial aid office. It was just me and Coach Sosa. Then we started adding some coaches, and then we kind of outgrew that office. One of our guests was a U-Haul box. And I say this, just to show where we started. And the investment Keiser University has put in our athletic department. Now we have some offices. We have a beautiful facility, new weight room, new locker room, new field. All of that transitions to where we are now, winning that national championship. And it was a great deal for us. One of the best times of my life and one of all the players' lives, just to be able to set a goal and accomplish it. It's nothing like it. So within that team is still the players. And 93 of our players are from Florida. 63 of those guys are from Palm Beach, Broward, Dade, the St. Lucie area. So that's our core. That's our culture. Within that culture comes academics. And that's one thing I want to stay with. That we have a great academic plan, but it starts with the professors at hand as well. So we tell our guys to make sure they're doing study hall and talking with their professors, but it's a two-way street. They can want things, but professors have to, take them into consideration, and that's a big deal for us. So I want to thank Keiser University for allowing their professors to have that communication with our guys. So it's definitely been helpful for us as we continue to build this tradition. Now let's talk a little bit of my vision of what I have for the university. So Chris Swanger just kind of told us about grit. So in our interview, when we've been talking, we always talked about grit. And that's something that I want to have once you come out and see us play on the field. And within that grit, though, it comes a lot of communication and trust. But one thing that we want genuine, we want respectful, we want innovative, we want trustworthy men out on that field. And I think that's going to transition out on the field and off the field. And that's one thing that I told all my players. I'm meeting with each and every one of them, one-on-one. I'm still not done. We have 130 guys. But I want to be able to just listen. I think sometimes as I grew up, being in the leadership role, we kind of lose sight of that sometimes. Listening and just kind of trying to see where these young men are coming from, I just don't want to be a football coach. I want them to be able to come to me and ask certain questions. We dealt with so many things I can't even tell you right now, but those are the kind of communication that I want without the whole team. And I want to continue to do that. My goal here is to make these guys better husbands, better fathers, and ultimately better citizens. Thank you.
Speeches. I want to tell Coach Russ how excited we are to have you as our new leader for the football team. We're going to build on the success we had. I'll take a moment to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Robert Kaiser, so I am the other Dr. Kaiser. It's very confusing for all of us. But I am the Vice Chancellor of the Graduate School at Keiser University. I'm very proud to say that I am. My purpose here today is to talk about the future for Keiser University. So as Keiser University looks to the future, we will continue to build upon the institution's values of preparing our students for the workforce, partnering with industry, and helping our students achieve greater socio-economic status. As we continue to put students' futures first, we look to build on our reputation as the statewide educational leader in workforce preparedness. We do this by continuing to work with and listening to our industry partners as we modernize and modify our curriculum. We at Keiser University are committed to being an excellent value for students and to providing students with better socioeconomic futures through upskilling. Our commitment to excellence and upskilling our students is best manifested by last year's ranking of being the #1 best college or university in the United States for social mobility, according to U.S. News and World Report. Keiser University will continue to serve our communities across our 18 Florida locations and globally through our international locations and online reach. Keiser University will stay committed to the values that have served us well and our students. Still, we may be even more excited for what is to come. The institution is investing in teaching the emerging technologies of AI, VR, and AR, the Internet of Things, robotics, cybersecurity, and space technology. We will prepare the future medical workforce for the expansion of telemedicine, digital health, sim technologies, and robotics. Our students will be ready to tackle patient challenges in not only the physical and behavioral domains, but also in the areas of mental health. Keiser University expects to lead in educating and training those providing care for our Floridians who are growing in number and aging as well. We are excited by the steps that we are taking to grow our institutional contributions and reputation for research. Finally, we are proud to bolster our new legacy for excellence on and off the field for men's and women's athletics. As I mentioned, we are so excited by the future and the role that Keiser University will play in Florida and across the globe. I thank all of you in attendance for supporting the university. I want to specifically thank Senator Brodeur for sponsoring the Keiser University Hill Day, and also Chairman Randy Fine for the kind words that he shared with us this morning. We look forward to partnering with industry and government in our mutual desire to create a better future for Floridians, and expect that the next chapter of Keiser University's story will be even more impactful. Again, I want to thank you all. Just a couple administrative reminders. I want to remind all attendees that Keiser University Day at the Capitol is occurring all day on the first floor rotunda. Also want to inform all the attendees and the media that we are available for questions and comments as desired. Thank you so much.
One other reminder, we have our sim lab, our mobile sim lab parked out in front of the Capitol. Please, if you have an opportunity, go visit that and see what incredible technology is available to help our students become more effective, especially, in the nursing area. Again, thank you for being with us today. Thank you to my presidents who are here on going up long distances. And most importantly, thank you to our students. And they are here with us, and they're here. They're the reason we are here. So again, thank you so much, and we'll be glad to answer any questions.
No problem, I understand.